Hello again, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So here we have another Dwarven's Holds vs. Ogre Cons. It was a rematch between myself and Mark, which is Sir MC 2015 up on the 9th Age Forum, and one of my group members here, Ryan, and he's playing his ogres. Again, it's going to be a gray versus a white and black battle. We are working on getting these armies painted, but again, our biggest thing is, as our logo indicates, we'd much rather have fun than anything else. So, also, if you live in the Westchester area, Pennsylvania, traveling this way, or anything else, reach out to me. Always looking for new members. So, here's his list. It's the same list he had last time. I'll let you go ahead and briefly look through it. Again, he's got the Ken Eater and his Mammoth and Thunder Cannon and all that. That's my list. Again, feel free to pause it and look through it again. My list has not changed from the last few games. There are tweaks I want to do. I just don't know what to do with it because right now it's working and I'm trying to figure out what's not working. My biggest thought is going to be the 10 marksmen with the crossbows. I think I've maybe shot their crossbows twice, so I may just change those to warriors, or maybe even graybeards, because they're strength 4, and use them more as a hand-to-hand chaff than anything else. And maybe drop the clan leader as a clan leader, therefore dropping my I like having 2 Thanes, but at the same time it's still a lot of points. If I drop the Thane and drop the marksman, I can actually take a whole other unit that actually might be worthwhile. And change the clan leader into the BSB. Food for thought. Food for thought. So here's the board. We're doing diagonal deployment. He had a unit of scouts pop in my backfield, and he vanguarded his Yetis. Let's see. Then he's got. You can see what he has on the field. He's got one dog all the way on the right. He's got another dog in the woods on the left. He's got there are his cavalry, his Yetis vanguarded, his cannoneers are behind the lake, his cannons up on the hill, and then he's got his there in the middle with all the mixed colors. There's even a Yeti mixed in there. It's actually his mercenary unit. The one thing, and I'm going to pose this question, and both Ryan and I said this after the game. This was a shootout. And the game was a shootout between dwarves and ogres. I'm like, when did ogres in all their fluff become this fantastic shooting army? And they are, in my opinion, they are anyway. He's got his Frost Mammoth, Tribesmen, and Bruisers on the right. And that's it. He's only got the 2 characters. I've got my Marksman with crossbows on the left. My unit of 25 with 2 characters being the Clansman and the, what is he, Runesmith in there. I've got my 12 handgunners with my BSB and my engineer. And then I've got my king and his unit there with the Kingsmen, the flame cannon, and then the they're actually very old marksmen or handgunners, but I'm using them as the Forge Wardens this game, and that's it. So I actually out-deployed him and wanted first turn, so I got first turn. Nothing happened. So Ogre turn 1. Actually, I lied. A couple things happened. I just didn't take pictures. So apparently, I killed one of his, put 2 units on his Frost Mammoth, and 2 wounds on, or took out 1 and put 2 wounds on his Mercs. And so he ends up moving up. As such, he actually charges in his Yetis into my crossbowmen, and he's hoping to be able to break them. Which case, I'm like, you gotta get through 6 wounds. It's doable, but not the easiest thing. There's a chance I'm going to still stick around. And I did do a stand and shoot. Didn't do a darn thing. Yeah, and that was it. So I ended up in that combat killing one of his Yetis. It looks like the other Yeti's flipping us the bird. But I ended up killing one of those Yetis, and that was it. Um, really didn't do he didn't do what he thought. I think he killed like maybe one or two because he just whiffed on his swings, one or two wounds. So I ended up actually sticking in that combat rather easily, and that's it. The Forge Wardens are up there. I'm trying to use them as chaff. Flame Cannon. Let me go back a picture. So if you notice, the Flame Cannon is missing in this picture. He took all of his shooting, all of his poison attacks, all of his magic, everything else, and just dumped it on the Flame Cannon. I'm like, it's a Flame Cannon. It's short range. It's like, Mark, you don't understand. I can't get near you with that Flame Cannon. All right, sure, whatever. I've got a siege game coming up. You'll see. I have a whole new respect that my enemies have for that Flame Cannon. Again, as an Equitane player, because I'm usually in combat, can't shoot into combat, I'm not usually as concerned with it because of its short range, but now I understand why. So that's why the Flame Cannon is now in the box. And again, that's the picture. So he did one wound, I killed the Yeti. So now it's Dwarf's turn 2. So if you notice on the left, I did charge that one Yeti, but it's not flush up against. Because that unit was so large, I had to go up and then wheel in order to be able to make that charge. And but that was that. My organ gun opened up on his. He's using my peasants. Considering he has an orc and goblin army, so he's got plenty of goblins. He's using my peasants. He just neglected to bring them, and they'd be painted. My organ gun opened up on that unit because I kind of didn't have a choice. They actually run and will eventually run off the board. Forge Wardens just square off and start shooting. And that was basically it. He was able to put, I believe, a buff up on his unit in the back there, but didn't make a difference. I ended up killing another one of his mercenaries during the shooting phase. And I have reroll armor and -1 to wound on the big unit of spears over there. And that's what the doors have, spears in that big unit. So again, killed one more. Again, 2 wounds on another. And there's that. There's that charge. So over here, I lost another 2 warriors. Just poor, bad rolls. Or about average. Then that thing died rather easily. So now it's Ogre's turn 2. Now I repositioned myself to face off against the cavalry. He charged his cavalry into my crossbows, which ran. I was not going to take that. I didn't want him to hit them, blow them up, then proceed into the rear of my lines. So they ran. His King Eater comes up on the board. I'm going, all right, I now have to deal with this King Eater. He charged in with his bruisers into the Forge Wardens, and at this stand and shoot, I did 2 wounds to him, and that's it. Again, nothing else. His cannon did roll a misfire. He was trying to go after my cannon, rolled a misfire, and can't shoot for the rest of the game. So now he's just going to go ahead and try using it as a chariot. All right. So over here. Shooting, he kills one of the crew members off of that, off my organ gun. He kills 4 of my handgunners, and his tribesmen just wreaked havoc, killing a total of 6. But I did do 6 wounds as well. I very much performed because he didn't realize that they were strength 4. Okay, because they're like, yeah, they're tough little dwarves. They're elites. And he goes, wow. So managed to kill 2 of his bruisers as well, leaving me 4 guys. However, I still break and I still run, and eventually that unit will run off the board. Even with leadership 9, it just runs. So now it's Dwarf turn. So I'm going, all right, I've got to deal with this King Eater. I've got a dog on one side, a dog on the other side. What am I going to do here? I can't allow my war machines truly to get tied up. So what do? I take my BSB, I have it leave the unit of handgunners and chaff up the one dog. I charge my spearman into his cavalry, and he chooses to flee. So I redirect into his cannon. It's an 11-inch charge. I take my unit of warriors there with great weapons next to the lake. I'm like, you know what? They need to get into combat, so they're going to go ahead and charge into the handgunners, and I'm going to do a long bomb charge into the where the heck they're called, the bruisers, in with my king's unit. So that's how the board currently looks. And the organ gun opens up, kills the kin eater, and now it's hit turn 3. I'm sorry, I called my charge one turn too early. So he goes ahead and he shoots at my warriors, killing 2 of the warriors, and then that was basically it. So now come these long bomb charges. So the warriors were automatically in, which is why we just picked them up and moved them. So again, I've got that one long bomb charge there, one long bomb charge on the other side. He moves around my BSB. My marksmans did rally. I just didn't know what to do with them. And in retrospect, I should have just had them face the organ gun because I knew that thing was going to get charged. And let's see, what else? That would be it. Oh, so originally I had tried to charge his mercs with my king's unit. He chose to flee as a charge reaction, and then I redirected into his bruisers. And when I charged in with the guys with the great weapons into his gunners, I positioned them all the way as far as I could to the left, so everyone was involved in the combat. But if I went middle to middle, it was going to be having me shift towards them. All right, that was just kind of my thought was, okay, they're going to rally next turn. I'll charge into them once again, get another couple wounds off, and just tie that unit up and try to take as many of them with me as I could. And he did rally his cavalry. So again, they're off the board. I made the charge. Because of the king on the throne, he actually has swift stride. So they get in there. And over here, they get in there with 11. He didn't think I was going to make it. I'm like, neither did I. But they made it. Need 11. They're in. And that's that. So it runs away. I only do 2 wounds to it. I rolled very, very poorly. And my hatred is on his mercs and one of his other units. I think it was the bruiser. I only had two things of hatred this game. Over here, the warriors killed 2, leaving me. So again, he's supposed to be centered. So I killed 2 of his 2 of his gunners, leaving the 1. So when it breaks from my center, it's actually going towards his mercs. I pursued, and I rolled extremely high. I think I actually rolled boxcars, and I got that entire side. His turn, he charged into my organ gun. Nothing I can do about that. That organ gun, I think, killed the cat in hand-to-hand, or I shot it. Yeah, I killed it in hand-to-hand. That kitty didn't do anything. So now it's his turn 2. So I'm looking at the field of battle. I'm like, all right, he's got a long bomb with his cavalry there, and so I'm trying to chaff him up a little bit because I don't want him going into my cannon. Maybe I could have. I don't know what I was thinking as I look back on this. So again, his bruisers took the damage, but they stuck for a round because he had that scepter of basically they were stubborn for a turn. And he did fail, but then he made his second roll with his BSB. So eventually his cat kills the organ gun, but I'm in position to charge with the handgunners, and he simply moved up his his cav. And I wanted the Frost Mammoth. In retrospect, I could have shot. Hey! Sorry, my cats were fighting. My dog's nowhere near here. So in retrospect, I should have shot it with the cannon. Should have shot them, but I shot the Frost Mammoth because I didn't want the Frost Mammoth possibly going into the rear of my King's unit. It was bad enough I was going to get flanked by that other unit. I don't know. Couple things I should have done probably a little bit differently. But again, the Warriors taking out on those 2 units, killing those 2 units. His cannon back there in the rallies. So, as I said, he killed that in hand-to-hand combat. My King's unit turns around and kills the remaining Ogre and runs down his King or his general. So now it's turn 5. So I turned to face. In retrospect, I should have moved 9 inches away from his tribesmen just to save the points. I chaff up his cavalry unit because I don't want his cav unit going into my cannon. Again, I could have shot him, and I charged the dog. What is this a picture of? So I don't know why I took that picture. Turn 5. I kill the dog. No questions asked. He runs over my BSB without any issues because all I did is it's a dwarf thane with a BSB, no equipment whatsoever. But he comes up short from the cannon, and I needed that cannon to stick around. There my King turns around, and let's see. He turns around, he kills the entire unit of the King's Guard, leaving just my King. My King breaks from combat. He runs him down, so now it's Dwarf turn 6. I actually charged the flank. That's what that picture, I didn't know what it was. My cannon killed his Frost Mammoth with that picture. So over here, because of his flank, and we lasered it and everything else, I actually had the flank of his cavalry, so I charged in with the handgunners. I'm going, all right, look, I've got a flank, I've got a rank, so I've got a big flank, I've got a charge, so I'm already sitting at static 3. He has a banner, so I'm +2 automatically. He's only getting one of those guys to swing at me, so at least I'll stick around, be able to stick. And that's it. I charged his cannon in the background all the way over there. Eventually I'll get that cannon. And that's how the board looks. So my cannon does a misfire, killing one of the crew members. Over here, he does nothing to me. I do 2 wounds to him. So now I'm +4. And again, he didn't even bother moving in. So let me just go back. So I'm sitting +4. Those things break off the board. And the handgunners did a phenomenal job. So it ends up being a 13-7 win because he did get my BSB and he got my general. So that's like 200 free points I gave him, but I wanted the cannon to live. I needed to kill that Frost Mammoth. To me, it was a 190. Yeah, to me, it was a plus in my favor because I was able to turn around and I got more points than what I lost. So that's that. Overall, the Dwarven holds those warriors with the great weapons, being able to go up there and kill his cannoneers, and then his the mercenaries. I mean, they more than quadrupled their points. It's a 100-point unit, or maybe a 110-point unit. It's fantastic what they were able to do. And look, those Ogre Khan's tribesmen charging in, killing the King's Guard. Because all I needed was one King's Guard left. That's all I needed left, and I had 0. In retrospect, I should have done a couple of different things differently. If I had just simply given him my flank, actually would have limited how many guys he would have gotten to attack, because then his character would have had to go against my King. My King was designed for combat, and stubborn. I mean, all I do is stick around. I don't know. They say live and learn, live and learn. But overall, I was very happy with the game. It was a solid victory for the Dwarves. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time. And please post any comments, concerns. I know someone mentioned the shooting from that last Undead game. Yeah, that flame cannon, and I'm going to put together another battle report here shortly. And that flame cannon, now I understand people's respect and fear of that cannon. When it works, it is devastating. So thank you so much. Till next time.